What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'm bringing you my top 15 tight ends for fantasy football. Now, if you're curious, I've already done my rankings on my top wide receivers, quarterbacks, and running backs. So if you want to check out that video, it'll be in the description below or the notification above. Without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So, coming in at number one, it's no shocker to really anybody. It's Travis Kelce, and that's going to be the unanimous guy around, the whole consensus. Every rankings you see, Travis Kelce's number one. And simply put, no Tyreek Hill there. Kelce's been awesome for the past, 6 seasons. I'm just going to bet on it again. I don't care about the age. I don't care that Tyreek Hill's gone. He might just get funnel targets. I just don't care. I'm taking Kelce over any other tight end without a doubt. Coming in at number two is going to be Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens. Now, last year, he finished as the tight end one over Kelce, surprisingly. And, people love to hate on Lamar Jackson, but I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. I don't hate on him like everyone else does. I think he's great for fantasy just because he loves to target Andrews in the red zone and basically all over the field. Last year, Andrews had 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, over 100 catches. That's rare for a tight end to do. Now, do I think he repeats 1,300 yards this year and 100 plus catches? Maybe not. Outside of Kelce, I think Andrews is the safest tight end to finish with 800, 900, 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. I mean, he's done it a lot of times in his career where he's been close to double digits. And look, I just think he's established now. So for safety, and I still think the upside, I mean, he just did 1,300 yards. Mark Andrews is my number two tight end. Coming in at number three for me is going to be George Kittle. Now, I know this one isn't consensus. This one is going to be a big shock, and I know people are going to disagree with it. And mostly, I think the issue is because of the injury concern, right? People are worried about his injuries. He hasn't played a full 16 games, and who knows how long. It's been a long time. But I think Kittle's a warrior. He battles through injury left and right and plays when he can. And what I like about Kittle is when he plays, he's awesome. He never really disappoints. Last year, if you take out the last 3 games of the season where he combined for just 60 yards in all 3 games, he was on pace for 97 catches, 1,300 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Look, when he plays, he's awesome. I don't care about Trey Lance coming in. I just believe in talent. And George Kittle is super talented. Coming in at number four for me is going to be the sophomore, Kyle Pitts. Now, look, Kyle Pitts was awesome last year as a rookie, having one of the best rookies tight end seasons of all time, going for over 1,000 yards, only 1 touchdown. But I'm not buying into this touchdown production. Hey, look, it's going to come. It's fluky for how many targets and receptions that he only had 1 touchdown. The downside with Pitts would be, what's up with his quarterback situation and just the offense in general. No Calvin Ridley, no Russell Gage. So what's the receivers like there? Right? It's Drake London and it's Kyle Pitts. Like, there's no one else there. It's Marcus Mariota and rookie Desmond Ridder. Now, we have no idea if Ridder's going to be good, and we kind of have an idea of what Marcus Mariota is. Now, I will say, in Mariota's career with the Tennessee Titans, he did have Delaney Walker, who went over, 800 yards in 3 straight years, including one season where he went over 1,000. His situation isn't great, but I know the player is super talented, and at tight end 4, look, we're getting, pretty thin pretty quick at tight end, so I'm just going to bet on talent over situation. Kyle Pitts is a great player with the ball in his hands, and he could be a record next year for fantasy leagues. Coming in at number 5, for me, is Darren Waller. And now, Darren Waller is just what I said before. I'm betting on talent. I like the situation. Derek Carr is a good quarterback. Maybe not great, but he's good. But it's a little congested there. Hunter Renfrow was really good last year. They just brought in Devontae Adams. And now it seems like Darren Waller is that second, third wheel every week behind Devontae Adams. Where last year, it felt like he was going to be the main star. Last year also, he was really inconsistent when he played. He missed a lot of games due to injury, but when he played, he had that huge week 1 where he literally got 19 targets. But then after that, he kind of just fell off the planet. I think Waller's better than what he was last year. But with Waller's game, I think it's just going to come up and down. So you're going to see highs and lows. You're going to see high touchdown, high yardage games, but then you're going to see a lot, 4 for 40s with no touchdowns, and you're going to be kind of disappointed. But Darren Waller is still a really talented player who is a home record too. He can win you a week by how great he is at tight end. So I'm going Darren Waller, number 5. Coming in at number 6 for me is TJ Hawkinson. Now, people loved Hawkinson last year, and he actually had a pretty good season, but I will say was really inconsistent. Outside the games he missed with injury, he had some big games. I'll read them off. 8 for 91 and a touchdown, 8 for 66 and a touchdown, 8 for 74 and a touchdown, 10 for 89. Those are great games from a tight end. I'll take those easily. But then he also had some stinkers. Literally 1 catch for 0 yards, 2 for 20, 2 for 22, 2 for 10. Those are duds. Those are literally 4-point weeks. So that's just what you're going to live with TJ Hawkinson, playing for the Lions with Jared Goff, not being the best probably receiver on their team, whether that's actually DeAndre Swift or they bring in Jameson Williams or Amon-Ra St. Brown or DJ Chark. I think Hawkinson's a good tight end. I don't think he's the most talented guy. Just welcome to tight end number 6 and on. It gets ugly from here, trust me. Coming in at number 7, I'm just going to bet on Dallas Goedert because I like the talent. I don't like Jalen Hurts, and if you watch my wide receiver rankings video, I was a little bit down on A.J. Brown from consensus because I don't like Jalen Hurts. I don't trust him, and I think I need to see big improvement. But last year, when he split the time with Zach Ertz, he was only on pace for 51 catches, 700 yards. But from weeks 7 through 17 without Ertz, he was on pace for 70 catches and over 1,000 yards. I'll take that at tight end 7. That's a dream for us. Goddard has the job to himself this year. And if Jalen Hurts can really actually, get better, which there's a chance he does, I really do believe in Goddard for this year. Especially at tight end 7, and I think he's going to go even later than that, because I know people probably have Dalton Schultz, who we'll talk about next, actually, and maybe even his old teammate Zach Ertz above him. But I like Goddard. I think he's really talented, and on a great team, I'm going with Goddard, number 7. Coming in at number 8 is Dalton Schultz, and you might think I'm crazy because of what happened last year, and you can look at the situation all you want, right? Let's go through it. No Amari Cooper, might not have Michael Gallup, so it's going to be either James Washington or Jalen Tolbert, or maybe somebody we don't know as the wide receiver 2 for the Cowboys behind CeeDee Lamb. Dalton Schultz was great last year, had a ton of touchdowns. It was a good player. I will admit, was a good player. They haven't picked up his 5th-year option yet, which gives me a little hesitancy to maybe say, hey, maybe they don't really believe, Dallas doesn't believe in this guy like we all are trying to make him seem like, that we really believe in him and we think he's great. Maybe he's okay. Maybe he's fine. I like to bet on talent over situation. It's just the way I play fantasy football. It's my MO. Dalton Schultz could easily repeat what he did last year. And I'm not crapping on him. I mean, I have him tight end 8. That's still a draftable, decent tight end. But I'm not as high as other people. But I still do believe that Dalton Schultz can have a great year this year with Dallas. Coming in at tight end 9 is Zach Ertz. Now, Zach Ertz, this one, I think people are going to have him way lower. Last year, Ertz had 74 receptions for 763 yards and 5 touchdowns. But if you look back, like we did with Dallas Goedert, when he left and went straight to Arizona, weeks 7 through 18, he averaged 7.5 targets, 5 receptions, 52 yards, and a touchdown every third game. You equate that over a full year, 125 targets, 87 receptions, 867 yards, and 5 touchdowns. It's not amazing, but what it is consistent. You never have dud weeks with Zach Ertz. You're constantly getting the 5 for 50 and maybe a touchdown. It feels like it's just going to happen. He catches the 8-yard dump off and gets a first down every single time he touches the ball. You're not going to get huge games, but what you get with Zach Ertz is safety. So I think if you go with Zach Ertz as your tight end and you go for someone riskier later, or or even if you have Zach Ertz as a backup, I think you have a really safe backup and a safe tight end 1 that is going to finish probably top 8-ish no matter what happens this year. Never going to be top 3, but you're for sure getting a top 8 guy. And that's why I value Zach Ertz so highly this year. Coming in at number 10 for me is Pat Freiermuth. Now, this one might just be crazy, right? I mean, he didn't even have that great of a year. He caught some touchdowns as a rookie. But look, I'm just betting on a year 2 jump. Mitch Trubisky, had some good years with Jimmy Graham. And I don't know. I mean, maybe Pat Freiermuth really doesn't turn out to be much. Maybe he does. But in an offense where I think they're going to have to throw a decent amount, I don't like Chase Claypool. I don't trust him. I don't know anything really about George Pickens as a rookie. So it seems like it's Deontay Johnson and an immature, Chase Claypool and maybe a good rookie. I'm not sure. Maybe Freiermuth takes a step up this year and improves. Rookie tight ends usually never work out, and he actually was pretty productive. Not crazy, but he had a good year, a solid year for a tight end rookie. So maybe this year he takes the leap, and I'm kind of just betting on the talent and the leap from him. So maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But everyone after him, I'm kind of just worn out on, and I just want to see something new at tight end 10. Coming in at number 11 for me is Hunter Henry. Now, you might say, dude, how could you have Pat Freiermuth or even Zach Ertz over Hunter Henry? Hunter Henry had, double-digit TDs last year. While that's true, I mean, how many dud games did he have? Those games that he didn't score a touchdown, he was useless in. that's just not the guy I believe in because not that I don't think Hunter Henry's a decent player, but he's not the same as he was with the Chargers and all those injuries that he had. And Mac Jones was good, but he wasn't great. And I think that's a run heavy team. And I just kind of think Hunter Henry's what he is. I think he's probably an overpaid tight end who could be a red zone threat, sure. But those guys that have the one off seasons of double digit touchdowns usually regress back down to 5, 6, 7 touchdowns, which isn't great for fantasy football. So maybe the numbers go up a little bit with the yardage and the catches, but I think the touchdowns come way down for Hunter Henry. And coming in at number 12 for me is Dawson Knox. And look, man, I basically take back what I just said about Hunter Henry and put it towards Dawson Knox. They brought in OJ Howard this year, which makes me kind of feel like maybe they don't totally believe in Dawson Knox as a full-time player. Last year, he caught a whole bunch of touchdowns with not a lot of yardage. Of course, the big difference is they have Josh Allen, not Mac Jones. So he could really flourish in this, opportunity with Josh Allen, who's probably the best quarterback in the league, if not one of them. So I just kind of believe in Dawson Knox a little less than other people just because, once again, the guys with the high touchdown numbers and the low yardage, we've seen it before with Mercedes Lewis way back in the day. Robert Tonyan last year, 2 years ago, he came back this year and sure he got hurt, but he was on pace for really nothing last year before the ACL tear. So these guys with high touchdown volumes usually regress back down. So I'm tempering my expectations for Dawson Knox, and I have him at tight end 12. All right, and let's just talk quickly about the last three guys because I think we're officially kind of in the dead zone of tight ends where these guys are just a complete toss-up. Number 13 for me is Logan Thomas. Now, the only reason I have him on this list is he tore his ACL, but weirdly, like last year, he tore it, but didn't really know he tore it, so I don't know how bad of an injury it is, and ACL tears don't super worry me. He had the one great year back in 2020, and I'm just hoping he gets back to it. They have Carson Wentz, who's pretty much a gunslinger, not a great quarterback, but I think better than Taylor Heinicke. So this one's just a shot in the dark that maybe an athletic, former quarterback can just relive his 2020 season and have another great year. Number 14 for me is Cole Kmet, and this one's just a bet on, look, he was super targeted last year. There's no one else in the offense. I know I say the thing about talent over situation, but now it's so late. I got to bet on some situation, and if it's just Darnell Mooney, I don't trust anyone else in that offense. So it looks like Cole Kmet's the number 2 weapon receiving, pass catcher there. So if he can get targeted, where last year he hardly scored any touchdowns, maybe it turns around and he has a 5-6 touchdown season if Justin Field improves. And I think that's easily going to happen for a first round pick. So, hey, maybe Cole Kmet could be worth the shot at tight end 14. I think that's a steal. And coming in at number 15, the last guy I'm really going to talk about is Mike Gesicki. And this one, look, this is just a tease, and he has been. He's just going to be one of those players that every year we kind of go, this could be it. Athletic freak. He's good tight end. Look at it. Look at the situation. Mike McDaniel, now the head coach. And it's just, I'm tired of it. I don't trust Tua. I don't think Tua's very good. If you listen to the wide receiver video I did, I don't like Tua. I don't think he's good. I think he's fine, but I don't think he's anything special. Now they have Jalen Waddle back for another year after his great rookie season. Brought in Tyreek Hill. I just don't think Mike Gesicki's going to turn out to be very much. Worth a shot at, wide receiver or tight end 15 because it's a new offense. And if he's the Kittle in this, Kyle Shanahan offspring of an offense from Mike McDaniel, then sure. If he's going to be the George Kittle in that role, tight end 15 is way too late, and I'm going to look like an idiot at the end of the year when Mike Gesicki blows up. But when he doesn't, which I think he's not going to, I was kind of right at tight end 15. All right, those are my top 15 tight ends for the 2022 fantasy football season. Comment down below who you think was overrated and underrated. I know you got some opinions, so let me down below. And if you want to, check out all the other videos I did, ranking videos, fantasy football videos. They'll all be on my channel or linked below or popping up on the screen now. So I want to thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.